Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and on Street Talk, what we talk about things happening here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. We deal with political, social, and economics. Now, joining me tonight,
Dennis Burnside.
Charles Thomas.
Paget Maynard.
Okay, man, we got a lot to cover, so let's just kind of run into it a little bit. We got 14 or 15 Democrats. You know, people are saying he's going to run, she's going to run, and I heard somebody said yesterday that Hillary's going to run again, and what's his name?
Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders.
I hadn't heard Hillary.
Well,
I hadn't heard Hillary.
I hadn't either, and somebody said it yesterday. So I don't know, and said that Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Joe Biden is likely. Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I don't know. The door's still open. There's some other people gonna throw their hat in the ring too, but it's gonna come. I don't know what to say.
Well, I'm not real excited about very many of them. I was a Bernie Sanders supporter during the primary. Once it was obvious he wasn't going to be the candidate, I threw my support behind Hillary. If I look at the candidates now, I always look for somebody with a progressive platform. Keynesian economics, investing in schools, investing in infrastructure to put people back to work, investing in clean technology, renewable energy, and get rid of the oligarchy, get rid of the natural gas that is imperiling our planet. So I tend to look for people who move that way. And right now, the guy for me is, I believe his name is Tariq Senator. He has a very progressive agenda, and just about everything he says, I agree with. Now, prior to him running commercials and having a few editorials written about him in the local papers, I'd never heard of the man before. And I guess he's an entrepreneur. I've been around for a couple decades here in Michigan, but he seems to impress me. But be it gubernatorial or on the national level, I tend to look for the progressive candidate. And of the Democrats, the only one I see who is a true progressive, I mean far to the left as I am, is Bernie Sanders. Now maybe as the political winds continue to blow in that direction and the blue wave that we're anticipating in November manifests itself, maybe some of these other candidates will move more to the left and stop trying to be this mythical centrist Democrat, because there's no such thing, is it? Anybody who says I'm a moderate, I'm a centrist, they're really just a Republican who's too embarrassed to say that I supported George W. or I support Trump. If you're a true progressive, then you have to understand the politics of FDR and let that be your guidepost.
Well, how about what's the name from Massachusetts? The one that Trump keep calling. He keep calling.
Talking about Elizabeth.
Yeah, yeah.
Elizabeth Warren,
Yeah,
Pocahontas, calls her
yeah,
Pocahontas.
yeah. I mean, she's got a lot of the things that I like, and the kind of you know.
I agree. I should have included her in my list. If you look at true progressives, I would say Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are true left-wing progressives.
So, what do you think, man? You know, as we saying, you know, we got about 6 months before they really get into.
Yeah, I guess I'm at a standstill because I just don't have any faith in politicians.
Okay.
You know, but I'm gonna vote for the one that has the best platform.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm not excited about it. It's just, you know, it's going to unfold, and I hope it just falls in the right candidate.
Well, I hear you. I am excited, not in, you know, jumping up and down and all of that, but I just want somehow to get back one of the houses, you know.
Right.
Just get
Oh,
one.
we got
of
to have both.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
To get something done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got to have both.
Well,
We got to have both, man, because you got two sets of rules. When you have a Supreme Court nominee and the Democrats have control, everything is the requirements that we've always had. If the Republicans take control of the House and the Senate, but they don't have a veto-proof majority in the Senate, then they scratch it. They go nuclear and they say we don't need a 60-vote margin. We just
51.
need a simple majority. So they always move the flag. They always move it. So, in my mind, the Democrats need to take off the gloves and stop bringing a butter knife to a knife fight.
Mm-hmm.
Get a butcher knife, machete, or whatever you need to fight on equal ground. Win the House, which is eminently doable. Win the Senate, which is doable. And then you don't have to worry about any of these Mitch McConnell obstruction type moves that he made under the Obama administration, because the same things that he did to obstruct, he didn't allow the Democrats to do once the tables were turned. And I think that if the Democrats have any courage at all, any type of cojones, they'll do the same thing and get things done that benefit the masses.
Well,
Yeah, because I can see where the Republicans have exposed themselves.
Oh, they played
They
all
can be
night.
bought. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you know, I know we'll get to this later, but if you look at some of the indictment that came out just last week, and it listed 12 new Russian military personnel. We're not talking about people who were working, 400-pound guy working on the edge of his bed with crumbs dripping off his underwear. We're talking about majors and generals and
high
colonels
profile.
who the U.S. I don't know how they did it, but it ought to send the Russians a scary signal that showed that they not only knew what they wrote, when they wrote, but which computer they used and how many keystrokes they texted and typed in any particular text. They had it down to that. So they know exactly who they're looking for. So if you have that type of ability to observe and decipher what your enemy's up to, you can pretty much rest assured that
Influence.
the influence is there.
Yeah.
Pat, as you were saying, you know, we have to realize it's 3 or 4 Democrats in those red states, and we don't know how they're going to vote. You know, the guy from Virginia, from West Virginia, what's his name?
Are you talking about Joe Manchin?
Yeah, Joe Manchin, and a woman from
Missouri.
Yeah. Somebody, there's 2 more.
Yeah,
One,
Maine and Alaska.
yeah.
Maine and Alaska.
So, you know, right now they saying it's 49-51, I believe.
Because McCain can't vote.
Yeah.
And they're talking about flipping 2 Republicans, which may be doable. When you're talking about what's her name, Elizabeth from Maine, and then the woman from Alaska. But on the other hand, you have 2 Democrats, Joe Manchin
might flip.
from Missouri.
Yeah.
The candidate from
But you know-
the senator from Missouri. They could flip the other way.
Any Democrat right now who decides to flip, especially with this Supreme Court nominee, that person should be pushed out of the party.
Yeah, he should be
And
shot.
he should never be on a Democratic slate again.
He should be shot.
Considering what was done from February, they refused to give this man a hearing.
Hmm.
But now, with 4 months to go, you want to give this other one a speedy hearing.
Hmm.
And you're going to tell me a right-thinking Democrat, I don't care what color state you're in. And this is a lot of baloney about red state, because you deal with the people, not the color. The people are the ones who are going to make the decision. And if you show them, make the right appeal to them, you can convince people and you can possibly win that seat.
Yeah.
Mm,
But to me,
Possibly.
to me, I'm based on what the Republicans have done to this country.
Hmm.
I mean, it's an atrocious. I mean, it shouldn't be no. Maybe it should be a cut and clear thing.
You
know.
would think.
Yeah.
But, Patrick was saying we don't have a red or a blue. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Because if you go to Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee.
Oh, I'm just saying forget the color. Deal
No,
with the
I'm saying
people.
remember the color, because those very same people who swear up and down they're so Christian, I'm a Christian,
Oh, yeah.
had no problem with Trump going over to the border and snatching the children away from people seeking legal asylum.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't breaking any laws. They were coming here seeking legal asylum. And Trump snatched those babies away, and they had no problem with that.
Yeah.
And you can go on down the list of things that Trump
Well,
does.
I
That
agree with you there,
from
Dennis.
grab the woman by her you know what,
Yeah.
to all the allegations made against him on sexual assault, to his monetizing the White House, to his profanity and lack of preparedness, to him being a outright, in plain sight in front of the whole world
Yeah.
traitor.
Yeah.
They still support him.
Yeah. But
But there's
By
a
the way,
reason
they
why.
didn't just
But-
support him, you know.
yeah.
Did you notice his favorable rating went up some? I think it's like 45 now,
That's fake news, man.
this week.
No, they showed that among
Yeah.
Democrats and Republicans. The Democrats regard him,
Well, yeah.
for the clown that he is. But the Republicans actually went from, I think the disapproval was 51% before, it's now down to 49, and his approval rating stayed about where it was. So his disapproval actually is better than after he's done all these crazy
Right.
things.
Well,
that
that's
he
just to
was
get that
before.
idiot to do something else stupid, blow his head up. That's all they're gonna do.
Well,
But
But
this,
they're asking them, what do you think of Trump?
yeah,
And they're saying, I like what he's doing.
yeah,
So you take away a woman or man's baby and put him in a dog cage, they
Yeah,
like that.
they like that.
That ought to instruct you.
right,
Well,
Well-
you see,
yeah,
I guess some people wear blinders.
hmm hmm
You know, you don't
Yep.
want the horse to bolt, so you put on blinders,
hmm
or
and it will
or
go
you-
straight.
or howl them.
And
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
of these people seem to be wearing blinders so that they don't see anything else.
Yeah,
You can't reason with them because they don't want to hear it. I support this person, and what, like a woman said one time, when this politician does anything, when he is wrong, he is right. And when he is right, he is
Wrong.
right.
Well, one of the things is that I believe, and I think the stats would show it if they were to, give out stats like that, is that it's a lot of Democrats who love the way Trump are doing these Hispanic people, man. It's a lot. It's a lot of Democrats just like him because he's keeping.
Ahmad, if you are a true Democrat, and I'm not talking about just the name on the party, but somebody who believes in democracy,
Mm-hmm.
you can't tell me you believe in democracy and still agree with what he's doing.
Well, well, look. A lot of these ladies who voted for Trump because he said one thing, oh, I'm going to bring jobs. I'm going to bring jobs. You know, it's like they went out and 52% of them voted for Trump. Women, you know.
Okay. But look, yesterday they were boasting off about the economy. And they forgot that when Trump came to office, the economy was moving steadily upwards.
Yeah.
But we know whenever a Republican goes in the White House, immediately you see a bump because the Republicans are now going to invest their money in the Wall Street. So you see that. If you look back, you'll notice that happens all the time. Now, Trump gave this big tax break, and his vice president was talking about how big and the benefit, and so many people benefited. But less than 4% of the working population made any gains.
Yeah.
Most of which went to the bosses.
Yeah.
In the state he was, I think it was in Tennessee he's talking how so many people, but it was less than 2% of the working class in that state that had any benefit. So when the scheme of things, there was hardly anything to show for it. But what they're not seeing now, all this tariff he's putting on, everything going to be going up. The North Dakotans some of them were very concerned because they're farmers, and they now realize we're already in the going down. We're losing ground.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't. This ain't nothing new. When Reagan became president, he with the trickle down fiction, he took away some of the long term tax deductions that middle class people had forever, like deduction on your car payment, deduction on your credit card. That used to be tax deductible.
Children,
just a fair tax code. Where the wealthy paid their fair share and corporations paid their fair share. He's been gradually taking that away. And the impact has been, since that time, since the early 1980s, real wages is measured by how much you make after inflation is accounted for. Real wages of the middle class has steadily declining under this. And you see the same thing now with Trump. You saw an increase in the job market. You saw an increase in economic activity, steady increase after Obama saved the market. As soon as Trump came into office, we started seeing a lack of growth, and now you're starting to see some diminishment because of these policies, putting the tariffs that you mentioned, the tax cuts, which don't do anything but build up more debt. So what you get worse jobs, you get bigger debt, you get a worse environment,
bigger corporations,
and you get less in your pocket, and these same people go out and run out and vote for these same candidates. That's why I say this red and blue thing, it's real.
And not only that, all these big corporations, how they're screwing up the environment. And Donald Trump is for the rich people, the forgotten.
It was really kind of it made me feel like I was back in, 30 years ago. I was down there and I was watching TV at this hotel. I was watching this TV, and these Republicans was running for these different, positions there in Tennessee, because you only 40-some miles from Memphis, so you pick up the Memphis stations and everything, and each one was boasting about and vote for him because he's with Trump. It's like they want you to vote for him because he's with Trump.
Trump's the Republican Party is the Trump. I guess one way to put it is cult 45. It's a cult of Trump. Because if just today, Trump announced they're looking into taking away the diplomatic package for all these different guys from Comey to Brennan to all of these Republican intelligent military types who've dared to criticize Trump. Just criticize him. So you've got this cult down there that says Trump can do no wrong. And these are people who don't read newspapers.
No.
They don't read books.
Nope.
They watch Fox, they listen to a little Rush, and they like that racism and xenophobia that
Yeah.
they feed in
Yeah.
there. So they reflexively vote for these guys despite the fact that just prior to what we were talking about, they take the money from them. They don't do anything for them.
Oh.
They make their schools worse. They take the jobs and they ship them overseas. They do everything they can to tell you they have contempt for you. They can't stand your uneducated butt. But they feed you with that delicious racism and xenophobia,
Oh, yeah.
and they can't take it. They
Yeah.
can't,
And they can't get enough of it.
can't get
Right.
enough.
A question for
Can't
you
get
guys,
enough.
man. Trump is in office now. Have we seen any improvement in education? Any monies allocated for education above and beyond what was before? What's going on with the education department? Pick up on that from what you said.
Well, he's got a woman in there who
Don't know nothing about
don't know
education.
anything. This
By
woman,
design.
yeah,
Yeah.
By design.
this woman don't know anything,
But
man.
she can bow down to Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she
Well,
gave
that's not her
plenty
only
money.
motivation. She's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
They're off these charter schools.
Yeah,
That's true.
and then they was talking to her and asking her about some of the poor schools, and she says, I've been to 2 of them.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, she doesn't go
Yeah.
to the schools that she's criticizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can show her where the charter schools don't do any better than the public schools in terms
No.
of their proficiency in education. And that's even after the fact that they pick off the best students and bring them in and leave the problem students behind for their public education.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just a scheme for,
Yeah, it's a scheme.
for wealthy people to siphon off money from the public school system and put it in their pocket.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Right, because I just left Grand Rapids, and the Duvals own Grand Rapids.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Everything downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Amway territory,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ada,
Yeah.
so,
they gave Trump big money.
Yep.
yeah. But, for these, I mean, really, man, it's just really, it's the same thing I've been saying about the U.S. ever since I got out of the war, though, man. It's the dumbest, state I've heard of it, man. It's really, and the thing about this country is makes it so dumb is that the people think they know so much.
Oh, it's the arrogance.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the arrogance, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the new Jim Crow.
Yeah.
It's not the Jim Crow. It's just this idea that we're America, we're great, we're better than you. I don't know how many times I've heard from some of these right wingers I argue with every now and then on Twitter, Facebook. They say, "You ought to be grateful you're here. This is the greatest country in the history of the world. We're the richest, most powerful country." I said, "No, it's not.
No.
No, it's not."
Big
Where-
lying.
how do you make that broad assertion? I know you can because you don't know history.
Right.
But me knowing history, I could tell you several nations that were more powerful, had more wealth, and did more good than the United States of America. But if that's what you want to believe, that's fine. But that's just talk, man. That's like
Brainwash.
saying my mother's the greatest cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For to you, she is.
Yeah.
But I like to think my mom could cook too.
Yeah.
And even if you come from a country that's so-called third world, let's say you come from Pakistan or you come from the Congo, you still have that pride, that love, that connection with your people, your culture,
Yeah.
your
Morals,
history.
yeah.
So United States coming around, we're the greatest, we're the best, we're
Yeah.
the
You
best.
make America
Yeah.
great again.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
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 And
And
it's-
everything they got, they stole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they get it honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
But I was watching something last week, a week before last. It was last week, and they was talking to this farmer, and he was going, well, I don't know, but they was asking him about Trump. He's causing these farmers.
Yeah, with the tariffs.
Yeah.
He's killing them.
Yeah.
Well, what the Chinese did is they said, okay, you're going to slap tariffs on us? Let's see on this map. What are they making this red state here? Oh, they got a lot of pork. All right, no more pork.
No
Yeah.
more.
Oh, what you got in this red state here? Oh, wheat. Okay, cool. No more wheat.
Yeah.
This dummy goes over to Europe and starts talking mess to them, and they slap a tariff on U.S. motorcycles.
Yeah.
So Harley Davidson, fat, dumb, and happy in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
they packing up to move to Europe.
That's right.
Yeah.
And where are these jobs coming from? They're coming from Trump's base. And you could go on down the list, man. You could look at a list of tariffs, retaliatory tariffs from either Europe or Asia, where they've looked at the map and they say, okay, North Carolina,
Yep.
okay, Tennessee,
Yeah. Take
okay,
this.
Iowa,
Yeah.
Yep.
all
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
your boy
Yeah.
won't play tough, huh?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
won't play toughy.
Yeah.
And it's not thought out, it's not planned, there's
No.
there's no strategy to it.
No.
Trump's just he's a reflexive dummy.
And the thing is that he thinks, well, he's doing this, but his people think, oh, yeah, he's doing great. Yeah, he's going to get him. And they're going right along because this another guy was watching, and the guy asked him, says, "You still gonna vote for him?" Oh yeah, I'll vote for him.
Yeah. That's that bully syndrome.
Yeah, it's like
You got to be
Man.
you got to
He's scared of the
a
dummy.
lot of people.
The dummy just don't know.
Basically, right before I came here, I thought Americans were politically mature.
no,
My coming to this country,
no,
I realize it's completely the opposite.
no.
Yes, chaos.
We are laden down with a lot of people who have no kind of political maturity, and the people running for office like Trump, they are playing them to the hilt,
Mhm.
using them,
Yeah.
and just bring all the fears, and they're not even seeing the very things that Trump was telling. Oh, the Democrats will do this.
Oh yeah,
He is doing it.
yeah.
He's doing it to them.
But you said the key word, fear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the things is that me and Dennison talked about it, over the years, man. It's like, and it's that the people in this country, they know everything, and they'll vote. They always vote wrong.
Arrogant.
Yeah, they'll vote wrong, and it's like some guy comes over here and says, I'm gonna do this, and guy comes over here and is not gonna do any of it, but still they'll go and vote for him.
But if you don't know the definition of the word tariff, let's just use that as an example. It doesn't come up in your everyday conversation. It's not anything that's commonly bandied about. So you hear Trump slapping tariffs on Europe and on China, and then you hear him bluster about why. If you're ignorant, you get all tough guy.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's look up what tariff is, play. That's a tax.
You
It's going to be put on the
it's a
things that
tax.
you trying to sell overseas. So remember before, you're Republican, right? You hate taxes, right?
Yeah.
And now you're giving your customer a high tax to buy your good. Do you really think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
And they might pause and think about it for a minute, then that Trump thing kicks in, that Cult 45
Yeah.
thing kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good
Right,
idea.
yeah.
So they
Yeah.
don't think things through, man.
No.
It's not a matter of processing information.
Oh, okay. We got to end right there, man. Maybe we can pick it up in another show, but my name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and we catch you down in the next block. Peace.
Peace.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.